Afternoon. To make a presentation here about Irish church records and the websites where these records can be accessed. Church records are the earliest source of family information for the Irish people. For the majority of people who lived in the 18th and 19th century, they provide the only record of their existence. Civil registration didn't start until 1864. Now, when I say families, these are the only records that provide record of fathers, mothers, and children. Parish records are the earliest source of family information, and typically they don't start until about 1820 in rural areas. Some records, especially in Western Ireland, don't start until about 1850. However, some records in eastern coastal cities start in the 1600s. These, however, are pretty rare. We'll start our case study with Patrick Smith, who was born about 1853 in County Cavan. I'm going to use Roots, Ireland as our initial source. Enter baptismal records for, we're searching for baptismal records. We enter Smith, Patrick, 1853, and click on County Cavan down here at the bottom. Here's the result. We get a Patrick Smythe, who was born in 1853 in County Cavan. Now, we're going to look at the description of this record, and here it is. I'm not sure I can pronounce that address, which happens to be the Townland, and the parish is Ballymachug, that's best by pronunciation, and his father is James Smythe, and his mother is Bridget Smith, according to the transcription. Now we're going to look at the microfilm of the parish register. And to view the microfilm, we have to go to the National Library of Ireland, and we access this site via the link on Roots, Ireland. The National Library of Ireland has microfilmed 1,086 parish registers, which are the overwhelming majority of all the registers in Ireland. To view a record, we must enter the event, which would be baptism in this case, year, and the month. Now, this search is not exact, but it'll be in the vicinity of the desired record. So we click over here on the symbol here, and we enter baptisms, year, and the month, and we click on apply. Here is the parish register image. We had to search for that for a moment, but here we have it. And we can see that these are in Latin given names for Bridget's surname, for Patrick, for James, and for Bridget. Now, this is not a typical Latin name for Patrick. It's a little different. Jacobi is the Latin for James, and Brigida is obviously the Latin for Bridget. Now, you'll see that Bridget's name here is spelled S-M-Y-T-H. So there's an obvious transcription error in this case. Learn. Patrick Smith was baptized the 12th of February, 1853. The parish was Ballymachug or Drumlin South. The address is the Townland. I can't pronounce that. Father James Smith and Bridget Smith, and notice the Latin surnames. Now, for those of you who wonder about Latin surnames, may I suggest they're readily available on the internet. If you will Google Latin English surnames, given names, you can find multiple sites that will show you the equivalent Latin name for English given names. Island's strengths. It's a premier site of Irish parish registers, or parish records. It has flexible and powerful search interfaces. It has given names anglicized. The images are provided from the National Library of Ireland. Now, they claim that transcriptions from the original records are superior to the transcriptions from film, which their competitors use. It allows search for children using parents' name. This is a really outstanding feature and one that I recommend that you use. It permits surname search by parish or townland. Now, the limitations of Roots Ireland is it has weak coverage in County Cork. It has only 57 of 113 parishes in County Cork, 19 of 47 parishes in County Clare, 27 of 35 in County Dublin. County Kerry has 21 of 44 parishes, and Fermanagh has no parishes covered by Roots Ireland. Now, the other limitation is its connection with the National Library of Ireland for images is more complicated and necessarily and therefore inferior to the other competitors. It's a subscription site and it's expensive. Now, I'm just going to give you how much it costs. You want to subscribe for 24 hours, it's $18. For a month, it's $35. For 6 months, it's $146, and the annual rate is $198. Now we're going to use the parent search alternative to demonstrate from Roots Ireland. This is an outstanding feature. We're going to look for the children born to Joseph Curry and Mary Nolan in County Longford. Over here, we're looking for baptismal records. We enter Joseph Curry and Mary Nolan as parents, the year 1874, plus or minus 10 years. Now, 10 years is the maximum on the plus or minus, so you'll have to choose that carefully. And click on County Longford and then search. The result is these three children, one with slightly different spelling, Patrick, Ann, and Elizabeth, and County Longford. Clicked on Patrick Curry, and it shows his parents as Joseph Curry and Mary Nolan, which is what we entered. The spelling of Curry here is a little different, but that's a fairly common problem. Here's the We're going to look at the microfilm record, and here it is, Patricius Curry and Joseph Curry and Maria Nolan. All right, so let's go on next to searching by parish and townland for a given surname. We're going to use the Griffin family in Moycullen Parish in County Galway, and the search by townland too. I'm going to suggest that isn't as powerful for this reason. Many times the priest did not put the address on the record, and so therefore we don't have a townland shown on the parish register. All right, so we're going to search by county. We're going to click on Galway West here. For some reason, they've divided Galway into Galway East and Galway West. And so we'll click on Galway West. For Galway West. And
we kept talking about how his wife, you met Kelsey. Yeah. She kind of like blows through her.
In a parish, Moycullen, and then click on search.
And then she
shows all of the Griffins who were married in Moycullen Parish in County Galway. They start in 1855 and they go to 1897. So that's a good feature also. As I mentioned, you can search by townland too, but that's not as powerful a search. Talk about, I think I skipped it. Ancestry and Findmypast. Oh, I'm looking up. I'm sorry. Ancestry and Findmypast formed a partnership to transcribe and index the digitized records held by the National Library of Ireland. Typically, these records terminate about 1880. Our case study is Patrick Lorden, born about 1845 in County Cork, Ireland. So we access Ancestry and click on the card catalog. And then up here in the keywords, we enter Ireland Catholic Records. And then we do a search. And up comes this one here, Ireland Catholic Parish Registers. Notice the number over here, 25,600,000 records. That's exactly what we want. So we click on that. We enter Patrick Lorden, 1845 in County Cork. The result here is Patrick Lorden, born in 1845, relative John and Ellen. So we'll click on the image here, and here it is. And a little difficult to read there, so I'm going to show you an enlargement. And here's the enlargement. Patrick Lorden, notice the spelling is L-O-R-D-A-N instead of D-E-N. He was baptized the 24th of May, 1845. Parents John and Ellen Lorden, Dunman Way, Cork, which is the parish. And the witnesses here were Brian and Ellen Lorden. So I think we've already discussed that. So let's move on to a case study and Findmypast. Findmypast uses the same database as Ancestry. And we're going to enter Hugh Kelly, who married Mary in 1836 in County Kildare, Ireland. Click on birth, marriage, and death records. And enter Hugh Kelly, Ireland, County Kildare. And it says view two results. Click on that. We have two results here. Hugh Kelly in 1836 and another Hugh Kelly in 1837. Now, on this icon up here at the top, we're going to click on the leftmost one, which will give us the transcription of this. Hugh Kelly, married in 1836. It's 12th of May, 1836. And marries May Cribben. Now we'll click over here on the image to view the image, and here's the image of the marriage. And here, the 12th of May, and there we have our image. Kelly married May Cribben, 12th of May, 1836. The location is Allen and Milltown in County Cork. This is the parish. And So I'm going to talk about Ancestry and Findmypast together because they share a common database. They cover 1,086 parishes, which is unmatched in terms of coverage. There's free access for these two sites at family history libraries. The limitations of these two sites. If the priest uses a Latin given name, that's what will be shown. And this can create a problem where we have to make two searches, one for the Latin name and one for the English equivalent. Transcriptions of film, according to Roots Ireland, are inferior to original parish registers. So they claim their transcriptions are superior. So as we mentioned before, there are several websites that will give you English given names and their Latin equivalents. Now, next we're going to use the National Library of Ireland, which is the organization that has filmed the 1,086 parishes. We're going to look for Catherine Carty, born September 1821, and the location is Killican Parish in County Westmeath. We enter National Library of Ireland and Google that, and we click on their home page and click on Visit Catholic Parish Registers. And we enter the parish name, Killican, and we click on that, and we have a map of this parish and the surrounding parishes. That's one of the real advantages of this. Also shows that they have baptisms that start in 1821. So it tells us when the various events start, and it shows us that there's any gaps. Now notice that one of the parishes up here, on Mellon, actually crosses county boundaries. And that's something we have to cope with occasionally. Again, we're going to have to enter the event, the date, and so on. So we enter baptism, 1821, September, and then click on apply. And here's the record that we find. Catherine Carty, John Carty, and Catherine Gaffney. So, in Killican Parish in County Westmeath. Catherine Carty, baptized 23rd September 1821, Killican Parish, County Westmeath, parents John Carty and Catherine Gaffney. Now, the National Library of Ireland's strengths are that it provides maps of parish boundaries and adjacent parish boundaries. It gives alternative names of parishes. Many Catholic parishes have multiple names, and so this is a valuable tool for us. It shows us when records start and if there are any record gaps. The extent of coverage is unsurpassed, 1,086 parishes. It provides images for Roots Ireland, Ancestry, and Findmypast. And last of all, it's free. Now, what are the limitations of the National Library of Ireland? It consists of unindexed digitized records. May provide a time-consuming search for records. Our case study had a birth date. Searches without an exact date can be time-consuming. And most parish registers terminate in 1880 or 1881. Now we're going to change gears here and move to Irish genealogy. This is primarily a civil registration site, but it has Catholic records for several areas not covered by Roots Ireland. So if you are looking in Roots Ireland and there are certain areas that are not covered there, you Irish Genealogy. Case study here is Timothy Garvey, who got married about 1822. Location is Dingle Parish in County Kerry. Now we recognize that Kerry is one of those areas that is not covered very well by Roots Ireland. Well, here's our website, Irish Genealogy. We click on church records. Now, ordinarily we use this site for civil registration, but they do have a limited set of church records, which are a big advantage. So we're going to enter Timothy Garvey, location parish is Dingle, and the year range is 1820 to 1824. I think it was right between those two, if I remember right. And here we have a marriage of Timothy Garvey of Dingle and Ellen Dewig, I think it is. And we're going to click on that and we'll get the transcription. Shows Timothy Garvey and advantages and limitations of Irish genealogy. It's free. It has coverage of County Kerry, County Cork, and the city of Dublin. The images are from the National Library of Ireland. In this case, there was not one available. The disadvantages are it's a less flexible interface and has limited geographical coverage. Now we're going to introduce another site. This happens to be John Grenham's site. John Grenham happens to be perhaps the best known living Irish genealogist. He has a website. So we're going to look for Catholic marriages in Milltown Malbay Parish in County Clare with the surname Talty. This website also permits search of Catholic baptisms by surname and parish. So here's on Grenham's site, which is called Irish Ancestors. We enter a surname, which happens to be Talty, and we click on search, and here's a map that shows us the distribution of Taltys from 1847 to 1864. Now, his data is from Griffith's valuation. Now, you'll notice that all of these Taltys lived in County Clare, with the exception of one who lived over in Dublin. We're going to click on Roman Catholic marriages, which is a new feature. You'll notice just above it is Roman Catholic baptisms for surname Talty. So we're going to click on the marriages and find our parish down here in the list of parishes. It's Milltown Malbay. And here we have marriages in Milltown Malbay for all the Taltys. Start in 18, well, I don't know if they have yeah, I think they do. No, there's 62. Okay, and then we click on the parish register image here, and you see that Darcy married Ann Talty. What did we learn? Ann Talty married Michael Darcy in Milltown, Malbay, County Clare. Now, evaluation of John Grenham. Its strength is a powerful search tool for Catholic baptisms and marriages. Its weakness is a subscription site. Now, he's recently cut the prices. For example, you can get 24 hours for $5.99, monthly $9.99, annual $69.99. You can also use this site for limited searches, but after you've been on there a while, he's going to ask you for money. He's constantly adding new features to his site, and so we expect to see this site become even more powerful in the future. That pretty much concludes my presentation for today, and I thank you for your presence. And I would suggest you look at the handout, which will help you remember the information that we've covered here. Thank you.